Hi, my name's Holly, and this is my week 4 video journal. The evidence-based practices that I'm mostly familiar with are visual supports and modeling. Since I started taking this class, I have been adding more visual, and since I do work with younger children, it has been really helpful, especially those who are on the spectrum. I work on an inclusive after-school program. Um, so I have added a visual schedule, and that's been very helpful, especially with transitions and reminding children of what comes next. And also, I added visual labels on toys so they know where everything goes, so that promotes more independence. And I hopefully want to add more pictures, or I want to add visuals to cubbies next year's to help the new students. I also added tape by the door just to show them like where to line up, so they're not lining up right on the door. They get so close. And I'm also really familiar with modeling, and that's just showing what I've learned throughout my education is that modeling is showing what you want the child to learn by doing or prompting. Um, I do want to add more exercise activities to help with the child in my class that is having challenges. He has a lot of energies, and when he isn't able to get it out or it builds up, he does hit his friends. It's just because he has so much energy and it's just a little bit too much in the classroom. And what's new to me is the discrete trial teaching and time delay. I do want to learn more about that. And for the Faces of Autism, what I got was that we need to build positive relationships with family because they all have their different strengths and weaknesses, and our job is to help them identify those things that their child may need help on, and that may be frustrating with the families and the child, and using evidence-based practices to help with that. Um, and I also took away when we're consistent, the child is more likely to improve. The more we use evidence-based practices, the more communication, but it has to be, specific to that child and their needs. And it makes life a little bit easier on the families and the child because they are able to communicate the way that they can instead of trying that to mold them into our life. We can give them the supports that help them, and it's different than what we use to communicate. They may use an iPad to communicate. They may use picture cards to communicate. And I also took away that schools don't always give us the tools that we need to help these children. And it is our duty to have that open communication with them and learn how the child learns, their interest. And we don't always, I don't work for a public school, but there are guidelines that we have to stick to, but those guidelines aren't promoting independence or teaching the children the skills that they need in order to succeed in the world. Thank you.